Donnie, would you put into words that that's the best pitch game by the Cougars this year?
Yeah, especially with your opponent. Gonzaga is a obviously a good offensive team too. To still shut somebody out. I mean, we shut out Arizona and there's some other good games. But Joe's been great, man. Joe, ever since he had to miss that, come out of that start against Cal and we had to miss him at Stanford. He was great last week against SC and great today. And the pen was outstanding. Scotty Simons goes in there. Sets his freshman record, which is awesome. Everybody kind of did their part. Spence, got the comeback or just didn't make the play. But really well pitched game by our guys, and I just expect to see that a lot the next years to come. And we're going to pitch. There's no question about that. I don't know how many runs we're going to score, but we're going to pitch.
Kellen Campbell is a guy that maybe you don't get enough opportunity to brag about, but just talk about him tonight coming in out of the bullpen and closing it out.
Yeah, big time competitor, big time hard worker. I love Kellen. He hasn't had maybe the strike throwing command he always has in the last couple of times, a little bit, but he was great tonight and gave us what we needed. And we used draw on back-to-back days, so we try not to use him 3 days and in a 4-day span. So it was great. All those guys were great, and it was nice to put up a shutout on our last home game.
Looking ahead a little bit to the Huskies series, and I don't know how much damage this does to Gonzaga's postseason hopes, but would it be nice to take a couple from the Huskies and maybe damage their hopes as well?
Yeah, I don't know if they're still in the hunt or not, but I'm quite sure they think they are, and I'm quite sure a sweep out of either club would put them still in consideration for both teams. So we just got to go play good baseball. It's not about the rivalry. Just about both teams playing good baseball. Have a lot of respect for Gonzaga, what they're doing with their team and their program. A lot of respect from Washington. A lot of people don't want to hear that, but I think they're working hard and they're trying to get good players. And I know in the last 2 years they weren't in the playoff hunt, and they are now. So they're doing something right. So I think people should take notice of that and applaud that.
Tommy Richards came up with some big defensive plays for you to keep it at zeros. He's been big all year with the glove.
Awesome defender. Got nominated. We nominated him for the Pac-10 Defensive Player of the Year. I didn't know this. Craig told me that highest fielding percentage in the history of the program, second baseman. So just that last play is just stupid easy. I mean, he just we're going to miss him. I know at one point we were third in the country in turning double plays, and I think we're as high as third or fifth in the country in fielding percentage. And it kind of focuses around him. I mean, he can just make things look so stinking easy. So we're going to really miss him on this club, that's for sure. But what a great night for him. A couple of hits, and he should have had a game-winning hit in the 6th or 7th when he went the double, and scores the winning run. So good for him. A great game for Tommy.
After the Oregon State series, you said you wanted to see guys competing. You wanted 35 guys in the program competing. You guys certainly did that today. Pitching staff, hitting, all around. That's what you were hoping for, isn't it? Yeah,
sometimes other people's competing is a little bit different than my competing. Maybe I think a little differently than others. But, the one thing this team has been all year is they're for the most part, they're a pretty unselfish team. But we want to be the most unselfish program and the most competitive program in the country. That is my goal. Those two things we have to be in our program. We have to be unselfish and we have to be competitive. Those are the two most important things, characteristics in a player that we want in our program. So, and you look at it in the last couple of games, and we've had some walk-offs. If you asked our coaching staff, two of the most competitive players on our team are P.J. Jones and Colin Slaybaugh. And, we talked about it even before the weekend. As the career goes on, we need to keep both those guys on the field at the same time. And they're both unselfish. Obviously, each one of them probably wants to be a starter behind the plate. We've just been back and forth with them all year, and they haven't said boo. So that's the unselfishness, and that's the competitiveness we're looking for.
What's the key to the series against Washington?
It starts on the mound. It always starts on the mound. We got to get some better starts. We didn't get as good as starts this last weekend as we wanted to. So we need to get better starts on the mound. We got to continue to play the defense that we can play. And we got to score runs. We're better than we have shown. So we got to get Arden Jones going on at the same time, and we got to get Nabolwitz back in the mix, and KJ and Patrick and Tommy. Their last weekend they need to swing the bat top for us.